Hello again, friends. Welcome back to twitch.tv/trooperberry, and welcome back to more of the Long Dark in our quest to survive 1,000 days. When last we left Achievement Astrid, we, unsurprisingly, got a little sidetracked. We're in the process of completing a big trade for 50 doses of vitamin C pills. Right now we have, it's going to take like a mess of crow feathers, like 30 liters of water, and like 90 harvestable plants. And I think we were in the process of getting a bunch of firewood to make said 90 liters of water. So let's see if we can pivot back to that without nature interrupting us. Okay. Yeah, let's check that trade real quick. Yeah, so we got 30 crow feathers, which is done. We got to make 30 liters of water, but we have the firewood for that, I'm pretty sure. It's the 90 harvestable plants that concerns me. Hey, Martian, good to see you. Welcome in. How is your weekend going? Hope you're doing well. Oh, hang on. Before we do that, let's have a hydrated Astrid. There we go. Now I've got 46 birch bark, unprocessed birch bark. That'll cover half of it. So the question is, do we continue hunting for birch bark, or do we suck it up and hand over some of our precious rose hips? All of which are at misanthropes, by the by. Yeah, I foolishly processed those ahead of time. Oh well. I mean, okay, I love me some pemmican, and the rose hips would be strictly for pemmican. Acorns? There's a fixed number of those in the world. Same with the mushrooms. And there are probably some recipes we want to save stuff for. If you're wondering, and and there's good reason you should. The plan, such as it is, I want to attempt the um, the spend 25 consecutive days in Langston Mine for the achievement, because that's what we're here to do. All right, you know what? We're just gonna do it. All right. How are we for firewood? I have 10 sticks. All right. I'd kind of hope to save most of this for maybe furniture crafting purposes, but you know what? The game has forced our hand by giving me an achievement that I foolishly think is achievable. So let's see what we can do here. All right, and I was hoping for Maglin's weather. That is very much not Maglin's weather. Hello? Well, game froze for a second there. Hey, Meldron, welcome in. Oh, so they're one of the new achievements is you have to spend 25 consecutive days in Langston Mine in the zone of contamination. Now, obviously, that's cabin fever ahoy. If you have settled mind, it's probably pretty straightforward. Alas, this run started before settled mind actually existed. So, yeah. I'm going to see if we can do it anyway, but it's going to take a lot of caffeine pills and probably some vitamin C pills as well. So, we're going to try to push our trader friend to give us as many of those as possible. And thank you for the 10 stream streak there, Martian. You do that one. Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's one of those 0.1, 0.2% achievements. So you're definitely in good company there, Melderon. And I mean, I know we're gonna after like after like 4 or 5 days, we're not gonna be able to sleep. So we're gonna need things that either fix cabin fever or let us stay awake. Because like temperature won't be an issue. It's gonna take a lot of water, but there's plenty of wood to burn. Swore I heard bear crows, but I've killed all the bears. Anyway, it's gonna take a lot of water, and we're probably gonna want to bring lots of cured meat, but also maybe pemmican bars, maybe prepper pie. Basically anything that gives us energy. So like pies in particular. Also, Misanthrope is not this far away. I don't think. You get me to do it as you had settled mind, but you never got around to it. And you started to burn after like 3 straight months playing the game. That's fair. And that's why, oh, okay, so we took a turn somewhere, and now we're at the waterfront cottages. That is not where we want to be. Not sure how I managed that, but okay. And that's totally understandable. And that's part of the reason why I try to keep a variety of games on this channel as well, because I know how easy it is to burn out. Like I burned out on Stardew Valley. 1,400 hours later, but it did happen. It's just just speaking for me. Because that's the reason like we're not still playing Relooted tonight. I like it a lot, but I want to keep things fresh. Excuse you. Rude. Interrupting the soundtrack. Oh, so we're all just respawning at once. Alright. Be that way. How? Well, I guess better than random timberwolves out of the fog. Good grief. I just want to find the coastline. God dang it. Like, we're going to run into weak ice eventually. There's a fire, or a campfire. Okay, those are travel crows. Yeah, that's one of your binge games over 1,000. Yeah, it's so easy. And how often do you just get the feeling that you're just starting to get into the groove of a run, and then you think, you know what I ought to do? I ought to start a new farm. You get that early game rush all over again. Because I will, I am definitely guilty of that. I'm back on the fucking road. All right. Well, we were going to go to Misanthropes, but I guess the game has said no. So let's just harvest some firewood instead. Good grief. I figured I'd be able to point Astrid in a straight line, but shows what I know. Yeah, I've seen people use spray paint. I know some people they'll put
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
tinder a line of tinder plugs on the ice, and those are both very sensible approaches. Me, apparently, I'll just wander about. Okay. So we're back to the blue house. We could harvest up those pallets, but I don't know. The sticks are renewable, those are not. Actually, let me check. Did I leave anything in here? I could check the journal, but that'd be too easy. Okay, we have a bear hide and guts and wolf pelts. Okay. Well, okay, what else are we doing?
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Yeah, well, okay, we've seen what it's like when we wander about in pea soup fog. So let's just consolidate our holdings.
Drop any of this gear.
You can drop that attitude is what you can do, young lady. There we go. Hey, try to max the trade as fast as possible. And that makes sense. So in the end, you like to make a lot of markets early on. True, true. Also, hey, Nerdy Tokyo, welcome in. Thank you for that. How goes the weekend? How is the chaos J League Chaos Energy Extravaganza treating you so far? That was a deer, so don't worry about that. All right. Okay, we got our bear hides here. So we're going to add another bear hide to the pile. And then, oh yeah, we did trade in some wolf pelts. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Write these down before I forget. Okay, coastal, Quonset. We're up to 3 bear.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
21 wolf. I'm accounting, Astrid. Please don't interrupt. Oh wait, no. 1, 2, 3. We actually have 4 bear. All right, fine. And 20 more guts. Bunch of guts. Okay, well, thank you for that. Good job, me. Good game at Ajista. Better weather than last week. Okay, good, good. Um, oh, was that? Oh no, what was it I saw you posting about on Blue Sky? Oh, there was a shootout with Urawa. That's right. I just got 34. Actually, hold on to those. Are we just gonna try again? Maybe, maybe we'll just try again. Two shootout wins in a row. Nice. But they're just like they're the regular kind of shootouts, I assume, not the. I live in hope that at some point, someone is going to look
Not
back
sure I can carry much more.
on the 35-yard shootout from MLS 1.0 and then see it for the brilliant thing that it is. Because people are saying, "Oh, it was Americans, stupid American invention." It's honestly, it's a better test of skill than the stupid shootout we have now. I will die on that hill. Okay, so we're in a situation where they're undefeated, but in sixth. Yeah. So do they give fewer? Do you get fewer points for winning in a shootout? I assume. Is that? Oh! There we go. That's why you respawned. That makes so much more sense. They should bring ML size shootouts to the J League All Star game. I mean, that would be great. I'd love to see them just in general, but yeah. 2 points for a shootout, 1 for a point shootout. Okay, nice. And so there's still incentive to go for the win. Good. I like that. I appreciate that. And I gotta say, it's probably my old brain, but I think the other day I was looking through results and I saw Machida Zelvia winning Asian Champions League, and I thought, really. But again, this is not your older brother's Machida Zelvia. They're a big boy club now. And you think of making a spreadsheet to keep track of things? You could do that, and it would probably be much more efficient than my unique approach of just whack everything in the same notebook and scroll like a madman. You need to remember early on. Yeah, that would help. Or so they like to think. Well, I mean, someone's got to be Tokyo's team. But it is. I will say it is good to see fresh faces in continental competition and doing well. So it's not just Urawa, Kashima. They just like the Gamba, the same faces over and over. Unlike certain other leagues that will go unmentioned. Okay, yeah. Here's our little fire making hideaway. And I have a pile for coal. I do not have a pile for coal. All right, we can deal with that later. You just got the format basically just landing up for Saudi. I mean, yeah, that is. You're not wrong. the ASC is basically a subsidiary of the PIF and whatever the Qatar investment fund is. But it'll just be all the more fun when teams from the East actually win the damn thing. You'll be missing that All-Star game. You'll be flying to. Oh, this is the latest cool thing. We're definitely not talking about. Okay, is that the canoe where I got the arrows from last time? Let me check. It almost certainly is. But we don't want to leave freebies just sitting about. Nope. I think we got everything. Lovely. Okay. Do I want to take those fish over there? Signs the delivery, so you could talk about it. Maybe I will keep appearances. Yeah. Jinxing is not a thing. That's just something we tell ourselves when we don't want to get excited about something good that's going to happen to us. But for the continued appearance of professionalism, we can just say cool thing at later time. Okay. Yeah, let me grab this real quick. Oh, double ore. There we go. And you are a Carl Bob who is crash landed on my campfire, so no. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave the OMB just because again it's one of those non-respawning plants, and I'd like to have it there in case of emergency versus grabbing it all just for a trade. There we go. Cool thing that will have you in place for roughly 1 month from early-ish June. Aha. Okay. Well, that is definitely a thing that is a thing in being, and all I will say is I'm very happy for you, my friend, and I hope it is every bit as cool as you wish it to be. Okay, no more firewood here. That's okay. Hello, Bun Buns. Goodbye, Bun Buns. Yeah, for those who are wondering, Nerdy Tokyo and I have known each other for a long time. They actually on the Big Soccer message board is where we first crossed paths, which I was reminded during the most recent Best Soccer show. I started posting there in 2001, April of 2001. That's 25 years ago, y'all. Leading non-replenishable plan scenarios, frequent. Yeah. That's the idea of Melderon. And plus, I have a small collection of partially used antiseptic. and I'm happy. I'm happy to lean on that for a while. Okay, 1, 2. You know what?
I can drop any of this gear.
I'll grab a couple of those, and we'll drop them here by our spot in case we need sustenance. I only make our 30 liters of water. You're talking about the Big Soccer Forum on a podcast recording the other night? Yeah, because like initially wasn't it was like the when at the very start there wasn't even like a dedicated Asia. It was like Asia, the Middle East, and Africa or something like that. Like just like a catch-all, everything east of Western Europe. And then eventually Asia got split off into its own thing. I think that was right about the time when I became a moderator. That's well before you arrived. Okay. But yeah, it was because we had like there was the Iranian supporters were they were there were a lot of J League fans and Korea. Australia wasn't even in the AFC yet. That's how far back that was. But yeah, and I can still remember the names of some of the problem posters. Okay. Alright, so unclaimed wood goes here. And firewood goes here. And then fish go here. Ooh, ooh, hang on. Maglin's hype. Oh, no Maglin's hype. Come on, it's okay. It's mildly cloudy. Boo, boo though, boo. What you can say is that this is the same cool thing you did last time, just much closer to home. Aha! I will take the hint there, but still, I hope it is awesome, and the people there treat you like the prince you are. Okay, all right. So the clouds really did roll. Okay, so I probably just missed my Maglin's hype window. Oh well. Ooh, and this one has one shot left in it. All right, we'll just make more, I guess. Okay, hang on. Do I want to do this tonight? Or, ooh, hang on. No, let me go get those doggos because we can take them, put them in the meat box, and then we can have more cured meat ready because we got the salt, we got the rose hips, we got the fat. We just need more cured meat, then we can make more pemmican bars. And that pemmican apparently is not only good for like being unburdened, but I guess it has some cabin fever effects too. Excuse me. So now I just gotta go find that little, well, it was a quartet when I first got there. I think we killed 3 of them, and then one of them ran RUNNOFT. I gotta go find the damn things. I think that's them right there. Are we... Oh, yeah, we got carry capacity. Yeah, this was a... I'm just a little bit on the tired side. This is my second straight one-day weekend. Now, part of that is just because it was my turn. Well, the first one was my turn in the rotation. Because I was away in Canada for a couple weeks. But then the other one, this past one, is because it is Lunar New Year on Tuesday. Tuesday, yes. Okay, there's one. I shot 3. Right? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so it was my turn in the rotation, and now this one I had to do work this weekend as well because 2 of our people are, they're spending Lunar New Year with their families. And it doesn't help that in our small section of 7 people, I'm one of 3 who's still here in Hong Kong. So whenever comes time for someone to get voluntold to change their schedule, it usually falls to me. But hey, that's what I get for not having a spouse or kids or what have you. Well, yeah, Melderon, I'm in Canada in the game. I am in Canada in spirit. Unfortunately, my body is in a place where it was 25 degrees on Valentine's Day. Wait, did I get the gut? I did get the guts. I did get the guts. I didn't drop the guts. Well, that was dumb of me. Why did I do that?
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Are we all gonna? Yeah, I'd say so. On Blue Sky, I know. So there was a new law passed where like if you can prove like if you have an ancestor who was Canadian after like 1947 or whatever it is, when the country was like officially founded with independence from Britain, you can be Canadian. You can apply for Canadian citizenship and they'll give it to you. So man, I got so hopeful. And unfortunately, I think I'm out of luck. I mean, it's enough to tempt me to maybe go dust off that Ancestry.com I did like 10 years ago. Crossing my fingers the whole time. There's a rogue Canadian somewhere in my lineage. But I don't think I'm going to be that fortunate. But it couldn't hurt to check. Now, what would I do with it? Where could I afford to live if I was to be one of those lost Canadians? I don't know. But boy, it'd be a nice problem to have. And I'm not one of those Americans who has a Canadian flag sewn onto their backpack. I don't do that kind of liberal, performative self-flagellation. You know, I am what I am, and one of the things I am is American. You know, I'm not going to be... Certain things that people in charge of my country do are deeply embarrassing, but I'm not going to apologize for something I had no role in. You know, I didn't... I no more chose to be... I didn't choose to be American. You have one zone into your finger, it's called a wedding ring. That is fair. And hey, and well played by you. And well played by the missus as well, locking you down. Ooh, we got cured meat. Yes, cured meat, cured meat, cured meat. And then we'll pop those right back in there.
Trees, because I'm gonna eat a tree.
You're gonna do nothing of the sort, young lady. Calmez-vous. Okay, 2 more. So 2 more wolf. Actually, let me douse this light before we do that. Am I actually keeping track of these? No. Yes. Okay. So 2 more wolf and 4 more guts. You use one of those at some point. I mean, if you want to, Meldron. I don't. One, I question. Oh, and Aurora, lovely. If for one thing, I question how these companies. You know, what do they do? Like, I'm dubious if their data security practices are as airtight as they say they are. But in addition, I don't know. I just feel like so many people who do that are just desperately looking for something, something to set them apart, right? Something that makes them interesting, so that they're not just a regular, Anglo, Scottish, Irish, Germano, Franco, whatever. It's like just another boring white person. You say, ooh, I'm actually 1/32nd Kazakhstani, or I'm 1/85th Cherokee. It's like, okay, but what does that really say about you? I mean, it's cool. And admittedly, if you are in a situation where you're in a country where you're not safe, and you can use that to get to a country where you are at least more safe, then okay. Vaya con Dios. But I feel like for a lot of people, I don't think that. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. If their security wasn't good, yeah. Or even if it's like the data security is, fine for a website. Who do they share that with? Do they share it with law enforcement? Like, do they sell it to trusted brokers? So, what was that? It was 23andMe. That was like they got dinged for, recording people's DNA and like doing things like sharing it with law enforcement, or like doing things with it they really ought not to be. I don't know. What was that? Oh, right. Okay, this is where we were harvesting a bear, and we had a wind block, and then we didn't. Right, that's what that is. Those are traveling Aurora crows. Martian, you really never left the area, as much as I can tell. You can tell you where your great great grandmother worked, where your great grandfather's sister is buried. That makes you proud rather than being, and that's fair. And there is something to be said for being in, having a family presence in one place over a long period of time, as opposed to like, my family, which just moves around a whole lot. Even though we're basically farmers and preachers up until my grandparents' generation. And it's two of the least interesting professions, despite what Stardew Valley, which had you believe. They did a picture would be nice. If you had the money, you'd hire a professional to build a family tree for you. Yeah. Oh, what was it? When I was in Dublin at the Irish Emigration Museum, they actually did have like a professional genealogy office, right there in the museum. And if you had a spare, like what, 400, 500 euros, you could have your like a full family tree put together. Oh, there you go. That was sudden. Oh, good. We do have water. Hey, Brady B, welcome in. Happy Lunar New Year Eve to you. Your weekend's going all right, and you didn't have to put in too much extra work. Okay, where are my feathers? There's my feathers. Yeah, speaking of renewable resources, my goodness. So you're playing Stardew, and it's only 5% of your decision to get into agriculture. Yeah, there's no butchery. Well, there's no butchery in the Stardew Valley main game. There is a mod for that though. I have seen it. You farmers don't learn magic, fight monsters, go mining, clear cut forests, get a large farm for free, and end up making a ton of money and live in relative luxury. Well, none that we know of. Eh? Oh, there we go. Staring at the ground again. Okay. Should we? Yeah. Yeah, I hate to do it. I really hate to do it. But I'm gonna part with some rose hips. It hurts my heart. But we have to keep the bigger picture in mind. The greater good. You just work dodgy hours and you're constantly somewhat grubby. With that outlook, you could work in newspapers. Exactly, Martian. The greater good. The greater good. Shut it!
What do you know? Looks like I survived another night.
Yes, we're for the for Tron Vision. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I would never recommend someone get the DLC only for that, but it's a darn good selling point. Either that, or you do the super duper cheesy thing where you bring up your lantern, you do the little click click click, and then don't quit and stop turning it on, and you use the little flashes as Tron vision. Day 4, you say if you just dug up a strange doll, it's worth 1K. Okay. Martian, are you concerned about filling out the museum quickly, or are you okay with having to do that again? Because if you're not worried about filling out the museum as quick as possible, say for a challenge or to get the rewards, sell that bad boy. Because if you're on day 4, 1,000 gold will get you a lot of cauliflower seeds. Now, just make sure you've got, or better yet, get you potato seeds, and then use those. Okay, no, that's the deer. We don't want that. Yeah, get some cauliflower and some potato. Cauliflower for big money, and potato for big farming XP. Because potatoes have a chance of giving you a double harvest. Ooh, almost 6 kilos. We got a big boy here. Not right now. You think you can wait until the secret note that gives you one? All right, that's fine. Yeah, so go then. Yeah, absolutely. Sell away. I mean, what kind of capitalist would you be if you didn't prioritize short-term gains over long-term sustainability? Okay, there's 2 of those. We got that one over there, and then, oh wait, is that?
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Okay, I really should clean up these mid-ice campfires. Yeah, because otherwise I'm gonna keep getting distracted and thinking they're wolf corpses. Not when you haven't actually used the travois. Yeah. Now I do believe those are fixed, and if for whatever reason your travois does fall through the world, it should show up, quickish. The travois and the contents in a lost and found box. I'm pretty sure that's been fixed, but I couldn't blame you for not wanting to take the risk anyway, because that is a lot of maple sappies you would have to part with. I'll be honest, that's kind of what gives me pause about it too, because there's only so many maple sappies in the world, and yeah, beachcombing will give you some, but not nearly enough to keep a travois going at the rate those things break down. Yeah, and okay, I will say this: if we get to the point where we are actually doing like serious prep work to stay in the mine for 25 days, that might be the thing that gets me to budge on the travois. Because that's a lot of hauling. Okay. Drop you, and then the meat goes in the box.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Well, let's do something about that. Ooh, cured meat. Thank you. Oh, boo. Is there a small piece we can take out? I was like, oh, if you hover over it, it tells you how much is cured. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. All right, well. Oh, wait, it's 0.19. There we go. Nice. Okay. I did not know it actually did that. That's pretty cool. There you go. What a snack on that. Yeah, no worries, Nerdy Tokyo. Appreciate you dropping by. Always good to hear from you. Yeah, have a good sleep. And if do keep me abreast on brackets cool thing. If and or when. Oh wait, gosh darn it. Yeah, so when that happens, or when you get close to it. Okay. Here. Right, forgot those. 1, 2 more wolf, and 1, 2, 3, 4 more guts. So 20 wolf and 86 gut. There's more. The floor is more animal than not. The rest of your reason you do agriculture is that you don't like people very much. You don't want to interact with loads of people. I mean, I can't say I disagree all that much. I definitely get wanting to. I understand tiring of people and not wanting much to do with them. I left my pot and my pan right here. Good. Well, just I knew we were coming back here, so why not? Okay. And yeah, we are. It is nowhere near Maglin's hype, so let's just do this. Getting with a few people is a nice thing. That's why when able you work nights. I used to do that. Before I got into full-time journalism, I was working graveyard shift at a place that it printed and mailed out credit card bills. Just because I needed a job, any kind of job, and so I think for the graveyard shift they prorated pay 20%, which pretty sweet deal. It was also honestly pretty miserable. But again, that was more because of the work. You just pick up a tub of mail, put it on a machine to get sorted. Okay, so let's put those in there. I need 44. Rotate. You pay because you don't think anyone wants to start at 3:30. That's probably not many. Or even with the pay, people just don't want to do that kind of work. And so, but agriculture needs to happen if people are going to eat. So that work, someone's got to do that work. So they find furners. And then people yell at the furners for taking her gerbs, despite it's like the meat packing plant in the town where I grew up. Anyone could work there. They didn't have, you know, Hispanic only, but people who were recently arrived from, Central America usually. They were the ones who almost always ended up doing that job because all the respectable white people, they didn't feel like doing it. Okay, there we go. Let you go home early because you finished all your work. Oh, that's fair. Yes, foreigners or Martians. Although Martians don't get nearly the level of opprobrium that foreigners do. Well, usually. Okay, there we go. No, you make me max water. Okay, there's 3 liters, so we are officially 1/10 of the way to the trade. And it's already noon. You think we can get that done before sundown? Feels ambitious. You heard Sean when you get a full-time position, yeah, you had to work nights, and you're okay with that. Got paid a bit more, good. Fewer people in the office and on the streets. Plus, you had 24/7 Tim. Ooh, 24/7 Timbo, nice. You spend breaks walking there, getting something to drink or eat. Yeah, and that's nice too. Yeah, the thing where I was working, it was yeah, it was basically an industrial park essentially with like I think you had a gas station a couple blocks away, and that was about it. So you either got something brought your own stuff, ate from the vending machine, or just went hungry. Yeah, Tim Hortons would have been very welcome. There's a place where it's mostly white British. Well, and in fairness, it helps if you are a place where you know people foreigners are. Like if you're in a city of some size, you probably have a better chance than say out in the Inaka. Lovely. Oh, there's our mag lens hype. Thank you, game. So very kind of you. Okay, there's 8 liters. 22 to go. And then, yeah, so yeah, Martian. So in Japanese, Inaka, well, the literal translation is countryside, but in practice, it means basically what you said. Nowhere any respectable person would want to live. Or at least in the conception of people who use that phrase. That certainly not casting aspersions on you and yours, by any means. And saying that as someone who also grew up in Nowheresville. what was it? Yeah, I think you grow up in a village of 800 people that's small enough that even living in a mostly rural state, you tell you ask most people where 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 the town I grew up is, and they'll have no clue. It's one of those small enough places like a K through 12, like one school building, K-12. Like you had the classroom, like the school building. You had the kids' playground off to one side. You had the football field and the track field out back, and then corn as far as the eye could see. Your city has a lot of foreigners because the pay structure as the K students' cost did not increase for like a decade. They're going to get another student. Yep. That sounds very familiar. I think the UK, the British universities took a similar approach, and that is currently very much biting them in the ass. Although, in fairness, in the current conception of higher education, yeah, you you charge foreigners full freight, so locals slash nationals can attend for low to no cost. Okay, we're halfway there. We are not getting this done before sundown. But as long as we're here. There's no sense leaving a job half done. We got 2.5 hours still. Lovely. Just keep that train a going. Yeah, as that goes, like I did grad school in another country, and if I had not busted my ass and just I gave a I guess make a compelling case, I had to get a scholarship. So there was no way I was going to go to grad school without at least tripling my student loan debt without that scholarship. So I definitely I know the pain of those international students. You had a fishing with a treasure chest and a diamond. Wow, you're getting some great pulls early on.
It's dusk, so I can't be far behind.
Okay, so I might keep the diamond, but yeah, sell the doll and sell the treasure chest. And you're gonna be rolling in cash. Although again, don't you're talking to someone whose basic strategy in Stardew Valley is have at least 3 of everything. So maybe don't take my word as gospel. Okay, I got 7 liters to go. Yeah, the last day of my perfection run, I was just chucking everything in the bin. Bars, ore, cooked items, crafted items. Just sell it all. I needed that damn watch. Okay. We need 7 more? Yeah. Which keeper in Canada. Mm-hmm. They're making some changes to student assistance to afford post-secondary, or hard people post-secondary. You don't know the details, but they're going to have free or near free. So I can, well, that I can partially answer. They do, the countries that do, I think Germany in particular, the way they get, like how they get away with that is they also like they also do they're much more restrictive on who actually goes to uni. Okay, there we go. There's that. I'm gonna have you cook one of these fish. Give Astrid a nice dinner. Anyway, I said, yeah, yeah, Mel. So they will, but but the trade-off there is instead of like pushing lots of people toward uni, so Germany is a rare place that has not like really devalued the trades. Like that's not considered like a last chance saloon for people who couldn't make it in quote unquote real education. Whereas places like the US, and I think maybe Britain to a lesser degree, the trades have been devalued and denigrated. I got 3. Okay. You start 1. Hey, welcome back, Martian. And yeah, you were absolutely right. Potatoes for XP, get you that money, and then absolutely go whole hog on strawberries. Okay, we're locked in. 3, 2, 1, Aurora, go. There we are. Yeah, right. Did you need just turned 20? She's going to become a mechanic. And so some people would consider that, a downgrade, a disappointment. But honestly, it's really not. It's steady work. Am I gonna? Okay. Yeah, it's steady work that is going to be in demand for a good long while, and she finds it fulfilling, or even if it just does the basics of what a job needs to do, and as that's pay your bills and fund your hobbies, then Yahtzee, you're good. You know, as long as it's not killing you inside to do it, I get yes, it's good enough. You certainly don't do what I did and make your job a central part of your personality. That would just be foolish. As I chose ag because you always need food. Mm-hmm. And happy at the bottom right now, the degree gives you hope you can afford to live. Sure. And again, you never know what direction life is going to take you. Yeah, you're doing ag now, but who knows where you're going to be, 5 years from now. As long just keep your eyes open and checking for whatever field you're looking at. You never know what's going to pop up. Because no matter how many times you get told no, all it takes is one person to say yes, and things can change. Okay. So we radio Sutherland, we motor back, collect our pills, and then hopefully get another trade lined up tonight. That's one of the issues in some countries. Too many people go to uni. Yeah, and the credential inflation. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, so like the bachelor's degree is the new high school diploma, and then the master's degree is the new bachelor's degree. If you don't have it, you are somehow less than, unless you're like a gifted entrepreneur or something along those